YouTube. So I have had a few requests to do a tutorial on how I do my eyebrows, and it's kind of, there's a few steps to it, but it is probably one of my favorite things to do during my makeup routine. It's so gratifying. So it's not hard once you get a hang of it, but I think the eyebrows are one of the most important features of the face. Yeah, so this is my tutorial. Hope you enjoy, and if anything's unclear or you have any more questions for me, just let me know and I will answer them. And also, I apologize in advance. I did not have my camera on auto. It was on manual, so the focus is quite a bit off on a lot of parts. Thank you, YouTube. Have a good weekend. Okay, so you're going to start off with just brushing your brows. So just get them, all the hairs in a good area. The next thing I do, I use a lip liner because I have very bright red hair, as you see. NYX lip liner, and this is in Auburn. It's backwards, but it's in Auburn. I use that. And what I do is I take this is a small smudge brush. Here we go again. Small smudge brush from e.l.f. And I use that, it's dirty right now. I didn't clean my brush before I did this, which I probably should have. So what I do is I run, it's not working, I'll do it close to my face. I run the brush along the tip of the pencil just to get pigment on the top of the pencil, and then I kind of add a line right at the top of my brow and literally following along and down. So it's not perfect, but you have a line along the top. Then I reapply, and I usually don't start, I don't know why I did that, but I usually don't start right in the center there. I usually will start somewhere in the middle, over here. So I'll fill that in and just make a nice straight line. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to fix it up. I'll show you later. But we're going to go down here to create your arch. So along here. I need closer, hold on. Yeah, so it's not perfect, but you get an idea. And I'm sorry, my voice sounds funny, I'm sick. Go down. And I'm literally going on like the very outskirts of my brow. I'm not going in my brow, I'm going on the outskirts. So right where the hair is meeting the skin. Because otherwise you're not getting your full potential as far as how much brow you can create. I don't have very thick brows. I can't grow thick brows, and so you kind of gotta enhance what you do have. And so this is what I mean, is I go literally on the very outskirts. I even have a little gap here, and I surpass that, and I kind of go around and down. And then once you're like pretty comfortable with the shape that you've developed, I just kind of use whatever is remaining on the brush just to kind of fill it in a little bit, going lighter as the closer you get to the center part of your brow. So it's kind of, let me see, are you focused? I'm doing this manually. I probably should have it on autofocus, but yeah, so you just kind of fill in what you can. Difference being that too. So that's just the first step. I'm going to quickly do my other brow, and then do the next part. And my as you see, it's pretty rough. It's not perfect. It's basically, I've created somewhat of a shape. You can see I've made my actual brows much larger than they were if you watched how they looked at the beginning of the video. So they're like quite a bit thicker. Not thick by any means, but they're thicker. So that's basically that. And this helps me actually because, again, going back to my bright red hair, this creates a red tone. Now I do use, I don't just stick like this and have red eyebrows because it's kind of unnatural. So the next step is I use Maybelline. I don't use expensive things, in case you haven't noticed. I find that the cheap stuff works just as fine for me, so I don't need, but I use this one. It's Maybelline, and this one is in color Cream de Coco. It's kind of a, I think it's just pretty much a standard brown color. It doesn't actually show it. It does have a slight touch of red to it, so that works pretty well for me. And then I just use a standard angled brush. This, again, is from e.l.f. I gotta bring it by my face for you to see it. It's e.l.f. It's a small angled brush, and I love it. I love e.l.f. brushes, actually. I find them phenomenal. I've had MAC brushes, and they're comparable, and they're much, much cheaper, so I just use these because I'm a bargainer. So, next, now we're going to kind of fill it in, make it a little darker, work better with the shape. So, starting kind of in the center, you don't want to start right on the front because the front of the brow is a little bit lighter, I find, than the rest. So we're going to just start kind of in the middle and work around the arch there, filling in. Oh, oops, it's my mirror. Sorry. Filling in a little bit more. Being very sparing with that inner corner here. I usually just place the angle flat, like this, and I just kind of brush back, so it gives kind of a more of a squared off. So it's still very messy, but again, we are going to fix it up. So I find using, I used to use just the powder, and it's just an eyeshadow, but I found it didn't hold very well to the hair for long periods of time. So by the end of the day, my eyebrows would be fading quite a bit. They'd be pretty light. But the combination of using a powder and a like a liner, obviously it doesn't have to be lip liner. If you have brown hair, you could use a, you know, an eyebrow pencil or even a eyeliner. Excuse me. But you want to use the two together because it tends to adhere a little bit better. Okay, so I think we're pretty good here. So as you see here, it's a little bit messy, but you're getting the shape that you want. Just by, so again, going over, you want to create on the outside. So you're going to start with the liner, go around the outsides to make a bigger brow. So if you look at how my brows are now, if you want to rewind to the beginning of the video, you'll see there's quite a bit of a difference as far as the thickness of my brow. It's just you're over-enhancing. Just how lip liner, when it's applied to your lips, you kind of enhance, it makes your lips look plumper, and so you're doing kind of the same with your eyebrows, just going on the very outskirts to create a little bit more. Instead of what I used to do would be going right in along the the brow, and I was just working with what I already have versus kind of over accentuating what I have. Again, it's messy. It's not completely. It's not, you know, it kind of blends out. So what I do is I use a concealer. I actually usually use a brow lifter from e.l.f., but I can't find it in my makeup box right now. So Good Enough, I'm going to use their all over cover stick. This I believe is in the color apricot, I don't know how to say. beige, and this works fine. This is good as a concealer. I use this sometimes just like a quick foundation if I'm like not really feeling putting a lot of stuff on my face. But this works fine. So I use a small precision brush. Probably won't see that. I'm not going to work. Oh, there you go. Small precision brush. I put a little bit on the tip of it. Not too much. You don't want to be too much. This is where you have to have a steady hand because you're going to, basically you're going to outline your brow and clean it all up. So you kind of start off here and just make a line. I am working here in a very awkward position. And then you just blend out that line. So it's so obvious. Okay, so that's just the top. As you can see, it looks quite a bit cleaner just on the top. So then you want to do the same on the bottom. This can also help enhance like an arch by doing this little step. Probably want to do this before you do any sort of eyeshadows, just because you're kind of working down onto your lid when you're blending. Oh, sorry, my mirror is in the way there. So quite a bit cleaner. My mirror. I do, just to ensure that it stays all day, just using a clear, I don't know what this is, it's in a mascara, it's a lash and brow mascara I have from e.l.f. Again, they have cheap stuff, I like cheap, so I use a lot of their stuff. I found a lot of it works good, some of it is not at all, but some of it is, well, most of it actually that I own is pretty amazing for the cost of it anyways. So last but not least, I just clean them up a little bit and also assure that they are not going to move throughout the day with a brow mascara, and that's it.